Hey guys, Dr. Ben here, FA Well Centers. I'm going to talk today about testosterone, about stress, about muscle tone and motivation, libido, all these things that are driven when we have enough testosterone but are depleted and drop down when we don't have enough testosterone. But most people don't realize why they have a low testosterone in the first place. Most people, hey Rusty, good to see you out there in Ohio. Most people are thinking, oh, you know what? I'm just getting older. Or every guy over 40 has to have low T. Or women, well, all my friends are going on testosterone replacement. But guess what? It doesn't have to be this way. And I'm going to show you guys on the whiteboard today exactly physiologically what is happening and why it's going to be so important for you to start shutting that brain down, because this is a crucial part of getting your hormones balanced out, is making sure that your brain is functioning like it's supposed to. So welcome everybody. Go ahead and, if you have not already liked or followed our page, go ahead and hit that button. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to this. If you guys have not seen our YouTube channel, we've got hundreds and hundreds of videos in there, all types of information, just like we're going to be talking about today. Leaky gut and brain and autoimmune and thyroid and all types of different things. Pop down just like Rusty did. Pop down where you guys are watching from. Love to see you guys all over the country, all over the world. And if you've got more specific questions about testosterone or anything hormone related, pop that down below as well, and I will answer that to the best of my ability. So great to see you guys. Hello, Miriam in Berlin, Germany. Great to see you there. And let's get into it. So testosterone is something that we hear about all the time. For guys, it's something we hear about, hey, how am I going to get big muscles and how am I going to be strong? And I'm in my 40s and 50s and different things that we just naturally go down, right? We just naturally have less testosterone. Well, I want to tell you that that's not the case. It doesn't have to just be this, oh, I'm getting older, I'm getting less testosterone, so then I don't have as much muscle tone, don't have sex drive, things like that. For women, same situation. Even though this is a male hormone, this is also going to be that it has certain attributes for women that you really need. It's going to be muscle tone. So women, you like dangle, if you go like this and your tricep dangles, you probably don't have enough testosterone. If you don't have any libido or sex drive, you probably have low testosterone. If you don't have a lot of gumption, a lot of get up and go and drive like you used to, man, we're going to get projects done this weekend, you probably don't have enough testosterone. Felicia, yes, we've dealt with scleroderma a bunch, so absolutely, if you got specific questions, shoot those over and we can just send us a DM and we can talk about that. So as far as the hormones go, you've got to know what's actually going on though, because here's what's happening in today's day and age. Guys are going on testosterone, women are going on testosterone. I see more women with a testosterone replacement than I do men now. It's crazy what's going on out there. And I have some women, their doctors are okay, their nurse practitioners are okay, getting them up to like 150 to 300 on their hormone replacement. The college guy that swam as a female this year, all he had to do was get his testosterone under 300 and he qualified as a female. But we're seeing guys just naturally come in and they're below 300 already. They're in the 150, 200, 250 range, and they're that way even without being on hormone suppression. Hey, Princess down in the Bahamas, good to see you. So yes, sometimes we're just not making enough hormone and we've got to do some things at those building blocks. But I want to show you guys exactly why stress can be destroying your testosterone. And we're going to start out here with cholesterol. And there's a little glare on that one, but that says cholesterol. So cholesterol is going to be the building block to all of our hormones. And so this is a really important part of the process where so many people are trying to squash their testosterone, squash their cholesterol, trying to get rid of that cholesterol. You're on statin, your doctor's like, oh my gosh, cholesterol's bad. So less cholesterol. But I'm here to tell you, cholesterol is the building block to all of these other hormones. hormones. So cholesterol needs to be there so that it can turn into our testosterone, estrogens, our progesterone and cortisol, and these sex hormones, as well as adrenal hormones. So cholesterol, it can go one of two ways. And the first way is it can go is to progesterone. So progesterone is not just there for your female cycle. We'll see progesterone in guys. We'll see elevated progesterone in women that are not taking their progesterone. But ultimately, if you think about it, that progesterone turns into cortisol. So for those of you out there that have looked into hormones, what is cortisol, right? It's a fight or flight hormone. So this cortisol is going to be this one that is going to get you revved up, get you ready to go. You take on the day. Oh my gosh, there's this mountain lion chasing me. Well, we don't have mountain lions chasing us, but it could be this stress of jobs and cars and kids and COVID and presidents and whatever you want to stress about, inflation, and you just filled up your gas tank and it's $120, whatever it is. Cortisol is that main adrenal hormone. And so many of us are living on this high cortisol, this fight or flight all the time, all day long, every night. We're just go, go, go. But here's the deal. The number one stressor to the adrenals and to that cortisol is actually your blood sugar. And your blood sugar, if your blood sugar is out of balance, especially if it's going down low, if you're going 5, 6, 7 hours without eating, if you're getting hangry, if you're crashing, your blood sugar is going too low and you're revving up the adrenals and causing more of this cortisol production. So, so many of us are living in this fight or flight, living in this cortisol state. Okay, well, that stinks and we're going to be stressed and it's not fun and all that. But what does it do physiologically is it's going to ultimately steal, because we're like, hey, we need to survive. We need to make a lot more of this and not as much of this. So we're going to steal from this pathway to be able to produce more cortisol. What is this pathway? This pathway goes to DHEA, which is another adrenal hormone, not DHA, that's in the fish oil and those types of fats, but DHEA is going to be the precursor ultimately to testosterone and then for estrogen. And for guys, a lot of times there's this overconversion of testosterone to estrogen, but for females, this is really why so many have a low testosterone, is that we're stealing these hormones to stay in fight or flight. So if you are in this fight or flight state all the time, I almost guarantee that you have low testosterone. Yep, and just like Felicia said, deep breathing resets the parasympathetic and the vagus nerve. Cold therapy is good too. Will fasting help with hormone balance? So Felicia, if we're saying that the number one stressor to the adrenals and to that cortisol is blood sugar, especially dips, for most people, if they're having hypoglycemia, if they're having low blood sugar states, they should not be fasting because it is going to drive more of this stress response in the body. So there is some value to fasting, but it is not the be all and end all, especially in this type of state. So it could throw off some of those hormones. So testosterone being low is usually a sign of a chronic stress event. And so that's why every patient that comes into the office, we do a brain map, quantitative EEG. We're looking at the electrical activity of the brain. We can tell if that brain is in this chronic fight or flight state, and we can help get somebody out of that state. What if you have PCOS but have low testosterone? That is interesting, Cami, because most people that have PCOS have a high testosterone and a high DHEA. I would look at your DHEA if you have not looked at that yet. But my guess is that you may just be in such a fight or flight state, Cami, that you're just pulling all that testosterone over, even though your body is still creating those cysts on the ovaries. And then Amy said, should women take testosterone? So that's a great question. Should women take testosterone? Here's what I'm going to tell you is that in the ideal world, nobody should take any hormones. Ultimately, you need to figure out why those hormones are out of balance. Why are they low? Why are they deficient? So if all you do is just add in external testosterone, but you don't fix this whole process, you're going to ultimately have feedback loops that then the body says, oh, hey, we're actually having enough testosterone. We don't need as much. So then you don't build as much naturally. And so just by going in and taking testosterone fixes nothing. It may give you a little bit of a hormone boost. It may give you a little bit, but you're not going to be where you need to be. So on the testosterone, Christina, I like that between 40 and 60 for females. For guys, we like them over 550, but for women, 40 to 60 is where that should be. Taking sublingual testosterone, my testosterone fell from 20 to 9. So yeah, again, your body just said, this is T King 777, I'm not quite sure what your first name is, but thanks for jumping on. Taking that sublingual testosterone, it may have been that feedback loop that your body says, oh good, we've got enough, let's not even stimulate, and we don't need as much. So obviously just taking an external hormone is not going to fix this issue. Cami, 6 kids will do that. Yeah, 6 kids will create this stress state. Pretty amazing. If it's you that we're talking about and you have 6 kids and you have PCOS, kind of a miracle that you've had as many kids as you had. And I would guess that it may not actually be PCOS, even if somebody has diagnosed you with that, unless you can see those cysts on the ovaries. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not PCOS there. So a chronic stress state is going to propel us down this path to make more cortisol. Your body's like, I need to survive. I don't need to reproduce today. I need to survive. And so that chronic stress state, and not sure which estrogen you're talking about there, Felicia, 205. So there's, in the estrogens, we have estradiol, estrone, and estriol. So we've got to go through and we've got to know exactly what those numbers are in there as well. So testosterone, if we have low testosterone, we're usually pulling it over. And so that's where, for every patient that comes in the office, we do what's called neurofeedback. And that is, we're able to get people out of that high alpha, that fight or flight, that revved up state, and get their bodies calmed down and their brains calmed down and help them get out of that. Yes, deep breathing, relaxation, meditation, going out into nature, doing all the things that we're supposed to do to take care of our body and to take care of our mind are crucial. But for some people that need that extra boost, neurofeedback is one of those pieces. And it's actually something we can do with patients remotely. And we do that every day with home units in there. So if you're dealing with testosterone, even estrogen issues, and especially if there's deficiencies, look to your brain, look to that stress response. And it is probably because your body is going into that state and stealing those hormones away. So if you need help, if you have not been able to figure this out and your doc is just slathering you on more testosterone, like the person earlier said that they're taking sublingual and their testosterone is actually going down, you need to figure out the why. You need to figure out, is it a brain thing? Is it a metabolic thing? Let's run that in-depth blood panel. We do this with patients all over the country, all over the world. If you're not getting the answers you want, we've got an F8 doctor waiting right now to work with you and help you get that figured out of what is going on. So love having you guys on. If you got any questions, let me know, but I would love to answer any of those, even if you're asking down the road. Take care, guys.